Hello Capricorn, Capricorn Rising, and Capricorn Moon people. This is your monthly astrological horoscope for May 2017. And a quick reminder for you Capricorn people out there, remember these horoscopes are meant to be big maps of the sweeping shifts and long-term themes that go on throughout a given month. And very seldom, if ever, do these, what I'm talking about, and these energies last for just like a week or less. So it's important to pay attention to that and keep that in mind. If you are interested in more short-term angles, more flavor of the week, flavor of the day kind of energies, I highly recommend you check out your weekly horoscopes that I put up. They are astrology and tarot, but even if you prefer astrology exclusively, the first half is exclusively astrology, so there's still something for you. And of course, if you ever want to get a session, you can always follow the links below, or go to integrativemysticism.com. So what is going on with the month of May for the Capricorns? May is kind of interesting. Because I'm going to say, I've been telling everyone, it's the easiest month we've had all year. Certainly more so than April and March, because we don't have a great deal of major alterations to, I guess you could say, the flow this month. We don't have a lot of planets suddenly stationing and turning retrograde. There's not even a whole lot of sign shifts to be spoken about. This is definitely more of an easy-breezy catch-up kind of month. And a month of optimizing, of actually getting more out of everything. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that, even in your astrology chart, we've got two planets that are just staying completely put all month. And that is Venus in your 4th house of home and family all month, and Mars in your 6th house of reputation, work, your physical health all month. Now with Venus in Aries all month, we're going to be seeing more peace returning to the home front. For those of you who've been dealing with any kind of issues, challenges with relatives, or just challenges involving relatives, family members, our kids, things along those lines, Venus is going to be bringing a lot more peace, a lot more contentment, a lot more serenity, and that sense of sanctuary back to the home front for you. This can, of course, as I've said before, because this isn't the first time Venus has been here in the last 2 months, also work out very well for those of you that are looking to unload any kind of property. If you're trying to make any kind of sales, sell a home, rent out a property, Venus tends to benefit the sellers versus Mars, which benefits the buyers. There's also a very, very strong element of how do we actually get more money coming into the home. When I look at a person's personal astrology chart and they want to say, have their own business, or they want to do a little something on the side, or a little website, or even monetize a hobby. I look at houses 4, 8, and 12 to see how that's going to go. So when we have activity in one of these areas, in this case, house 4, you are noticing, again, an opportunity to bring more finances back into the home, or an increase in home finances and home security all month. This is also an excellent time for those of you who are coupled, who are in relationships, to consider finally getting people to meet those family members, whether it's, introducing your partner to relatives, or maybe even discussing, is it time to consider cohabitation with a partner? We also have Mars in the 6th house of work and reputation, giving you a competitive advantage over a rival this month. You may be overtaking a rival, whether you're overtaking a rival at work, in your performance, in your duties. There may actually be full-on competitions going on at work, contests and things like that you are easily going to sweep and win. In fact, you might be winning a lot of popularity contests because Mars is going to kind of be bringing you in as the conquering hero. Whenever you have Mars in a financial area, houses 6, 10, or 2, you can also notice some opportunities to be picking up that sweet overtime OT kind of pay. Whether it's extra work that, is just being passed around the office, or things that you can actually volunteer for yourself, you are going to be, again, noticing a fatter pocketbook. It's a fabulous money month for the Capricorn people. On the physical health side, this is a great time to be working on actually bulking up for those of you who are interested in, bulking up or putting on more muscle mass. And this is also a great time for those of you who are athletes, those of you who are interested in anything competitive, or anything that might involve sparring or fighting. Any of you Capricorns out there who are interested in martial arts, MMA, things along those lines, this is also going to be a fabulous month for you there. On the 3rd of the month, we've got Mercury moving into a direct position after being retrograde, as we are well aware, in that 4th house of home and family. And between the 3rd and the 15th of the month, it's a time to be on the move. whether we're literally physically up and moving and relocating, or maybe even just being on the move and sort of changing how things go around the house. This is a great time to negotiate shifts in, how we are going to be spending money on the home and on creature comforts. We may be finding more inexpensive ways to handle things, or maybe even renegotiating certain policies, certain terms, with our rent, with our mortgage. This is a great time to consider refinancing. You may also find that with Mercury in the 4th house, you could be, again, in the interest of patching up with family, reconnecting with family members and relatives that we have lost touch with. Whether they are a part of your blood kin, the people that you grew up with, or, part of your natal family, or people that you consider part of your chosen family. Mercury is working on you, strengthening your roots. On the 10th of the month, we've got a full moon in Scorpio, in your 11th house of friendships and social networking. And this could be a tough moon for the Capricorn people, because you're going to have to make a decision about whether or not you want to stick around in a friendship that might be past its expiration date. They all don't go on forever. They're not all Cheetos. This might be a situation where you have realized that it's not actually beneficial for you or your sanity, or, or even just having a functional relationship, in your friendships, to be hanging around with a person. You may be finding out that you're getting tired of him or her. You may be finding out that this person is actually doing no good, and, between the 10th and the 25th of the month, a lot of you Capricorn people may be saying goodbye to somebody that you really don't care to see again. So, this is obviously a choice, but this full moon, in the 11th house does always make us have to stop and take a look and see which of our friends are true blue and who is not. And so, just be prepared for that, because sometimes it's hard to make that shuffle, and sometimes it's hard to admit when we really don't belong with that so-and-so anymore in our group or among what we consider to be our trusted strong and few. On the 15th of the month, we've got Mercury moving into Taurus, into your 5th house of love and romance, and for those of you who thought this wasn't going to involve love and romance, you're wrong! You just got to sit through the whole video. And with Mercury going into the 5th house of love and romance, we're speeding up opportunities for you to have your options. Especially you single Capricorns out there. Between the 15th and the 31st of the month, we're going to be opening up communications with several different romantic opportunities, several different romantic options. And you may be finding yourself a lot more popular, to the point where we're kind of juggling several different people at once. Be fair and kind and honest with everyone, don't be a player. But at the same time, with Mercury in the 5th house, it's meant to open up your horizons. They're even saying nowadays most people should not commit to an exclusive relationship until you're casually seeing 1 or 2 people at once, so you make a more sound decision, which I think is actually very reasonable. With Mercury in the 5th house, however, for those of you who have been seeing somebody, or those of you who are in relationships, we are hurrying developments along towards making something official, to stand the test of time between the 15th and the 31st of the month, so those dialogues will be open as well. If you've been having a hard time skirting a very important topic that needs to be brought up between you and a partner, this is the time of the month where that will be happening. Sometimes we kind of feel like that's a don't go there kind of zone, but it needs to be brought up for the sake of the relationship. Those conversations will be had, again, between the 15th and the 31st. Or they'll go best if you wait. On the 20th, we've got the Sun moving into Gemini, into that 6th house of physical health and reputation. And from the 20th all the way up until about the 3rd week of June, you may be noticing some huge improvements in a treatment plan, or in your physical health and your physical vitality, having more energy. If you've been battling any kind of chronic health ailment or affliction in recent weeks and months, you will be noticing that the Sun is trying to and succeeding in actually alleviating a lot of those symptoms, anything that may have been holding you back in that area. This is also a great time to consider looking for an upgrade or an alternative when it comes to a treatment you may be on. You may be finding out that there is a better medication, or a better therapy, or a better routine. And this is going to be a month of healing, starting from the 20th, again going into the 3rd week of June. We also have a new moon in this area on the 25th of the month, but the new moon isn't so much talking all about the health by itself. Remember, the 6th house is one of those houses that doesn't know what it wants to be. It's kind of a little bit of everything. And this could be great for those of you who are job hunters, or those of you who are looking to perhaps take on a role doing a completely different type of work, even for the same employer. Because this is an area where, again, we still start seeing a lot of that overtime money, we see a lot of that competitive pay money coming your way, this may actually become a new norm for a lot of you. Even if you were only looking for something short-term, this may be so good that you don't want to pass it up or have it come and go so quickly. And so there is going to be, again, a huge improvement to your finances this month, and it just kind of builds up to an apex at the very end. So that is your horoscope, Capricorn. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And of course, if you ever want to get a session, you can always follow the links below, or go to integrativemysticism.com.